fundraiser for the forgotten people of Afghanistan. This winter, you can heat a home by donating $150 or £135 to heat a single home to provide enough charcoal for these vulnerable people to heat their homes in this brutal, cold winter. Now, joining me straight from the Holy Land of Karbala is our dear brother Abdullah, who's flown all the way from Sweden to join us here. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Minhal, it's an honor, it's a blessing to be standing here today in the Holy Land of Karbala. Behind us, Imam Hussein alayhi afdal as-salatu was-salam, the master of martyrs, one of Sayyida Shabab Ahl al-Jannah, and Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. It's truly an honor to stand here today and to be helping to accumulate the donations from everyone around the world to help the people in Afghanistan, to help and give food, and to help to give blankets, and to help people that are needy right now, because what is better than to give charity during these times?
Ahsan. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, as our dear brother Abdullah mentioned, we are here in front of Sayyid Shabab Ahl al-Jannah and his brother Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam. Now, what better way to start this than to perform a small ziyarah on behalf of everyone who's watching and on behalf of all the people who are suffering around the world, especially the people of Afghanistan. We turn towards the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. Assalamu alayka wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifinaik. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين ورحمة الله وبركاته. And we turn to Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam and we say, السلام عليك يا قمر بني هاشم. السلام عليك يا ساقي عطاشا كربلاء. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dear brothers and sisters, in the Holy Land of Karbala, we see the Zuwar of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, who have come from far and wide for this Fatimiyya period to send their condolences to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, to those who were forced into captivity, those who are forced into a situation they weren't meant to be in, those who are forced into a situation where they had no choice, but it was the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whilst so many could have helped them and so many could have stood up against that tyranny, not many did. And today we reflect on the world today and we see the people of Afghanistan who were forced into a situation they didn't want to be in. They were forced into a place that no one wishes to be in. But they're here and they're in captivity and they're in a place where they can't get out and under a brutal, brutal regime. So many cut out from the real world. So many without electricity, so many without heating. We're here in Iraq. Many people think the Middle East or Asia tends to be quite warm, can be a bit warm during this time. But believe me, myself, our brother Abdullah, the whole crew here at Imam Hussein TV came to the studios today with coats on. We came today with layers of clothes because of how cold it was. Now imagine the people of Afghanistan. Imagine the people who don't have any electricity. They don't have any freedom, and just $150 today can provide enough coal for people to burn, to warm their houses. Now, brother Abdullah, I want to ask you, there are so many people around the world who are going through the same thing the people of Afghanistan are going through. But why particularly Afghanistan?
Our brothers in Afghanistan, our brothers in faith, our brothers in Islam, and our brothers in Shiism. These brothers and these sisters that are there right now are going through a great trial with the terrorist organizations that are waging war against the people right now and that have control over the land right now. It is with great sadness that we say that today we stand here and we see that the people in Afghanistan are going through exactly what we witnessed and what we read and what we learn about, that Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi afdal salatu salam went through. And Sayyid al-Shuhada, he teaches us to fight against tyranny, to fight and stand against oppression. Today, tonight, we stand here, we cannot fight, but what we can do is help and aid those who are freezing, those who are starving, those who are thirsty, and to fight against what they are going through. We can help with our du'as, but we can of course also help with our donations. For only $150, we can help an entire household to feel the warmth that they cannot feel because of the freezing winter. Of course, our summers are very hot, extremely hot here in the Middle East. But the nights are very cold, and the winters are even colder. So for only $150 or £135, you can help these people that are freezing, the people that are starving, the people that are thirsty.
Now, brothers and sisters, sorry to cut you off there, Brother Abdullah. Brothers and sisters, every single penny collected today will be used towards the people of Afghanistan. Every single penny you see on your screen is collected towards the people of Afghanistan. £15 will have a ziyarah recited on your behalf. $50 is an emergency package that you can send to the people of Afghanistan. Believe me, as much as the media tries to show you, 10 times, if not 100 times worse is happening behind the scenes. There are so many cases where our representatives in Afghanistan have reported to us and documented to us, and it's truly heartbreaking to see. Now, you may think that other places around the world are worse off. Go and look at the people of Afghanistan. Women, nowhere near allowed to go to school or university, despite a pledge from that government, or so-called government, to allow them to go to school and university, for them to get educated, for them to provide for their families. None. It's not like the opportunity is there and they are denying it. Rather, the opportunity isn't there and they're longing for it, they're seeking for it. $15, brothers and sisters, or £15, and you can have a ziyarah recited on behalf of yourself, your marhumeen, on behalf of your loved ones. We have so many loved ones who are going through things. Some doubts in their religiosity, others with their health, others with their wealth, others with their families. $60 you can provide an emergency pack, food and water. £135 or $150 you can provide charcoal. You know the charcoal that you use on a barbecue? That is what people use to heat their homes. This is the forgotten land. Afghanistan really, really is oppressed. Many of us think that the land of Iraq is oppressed compared to Afghanistan. Wallah, you look at the reports of Afghanistan, you look at the cases that has happened, and you feel helpless. You feel like you want to help them, don't you?
Allah, my dear brother, I sat down today before this program and I was thinking to myself, and I was picturing in my head, I've seen all of the videos of the women kicking the doors of the universities. I've seen the pictures and I've seen the photographs of the freezing children during the winter. And I think on top of that, our brothers, our Hazara brothers that are living in Afghanistan right now, they are going through this extreme tyranny where they are being killed solely for being Shias. Schools are being bombed. People are being targeted and killed purely for their creed, Now, on top of them losing their loved ones and family members and husbands and wives and children, now on top of that, they are freezing as well. And there's no heat to aid them. And there's no one there to help them. There's no food to take away from their hunger. They are starving and they are thirsty. And now for the little that we can give back, for only $150, we can take away that aspect that is them being in the cold and freezing, and we can aid them and help them so that they can be in the warmth, so that we can help them, inshallah.
Brothers and sisters, it has never been easier to donate towards the oppressed people of Afghanistan. If you go on our website, www.imamhusseincharity.com, or scan that QR code on your screens right now. Just scan that and it takes you straight to our website. At a time where Sukaina and Ruqayya were looking for warmth, not the warmth of the weather, the warmth that comes from that man buried behind me, they couldn't find it. Why? Because he lay all the way down there by the river of Furat. You guys out there watching, you can be the exemplars. You guys can be the providers of warmth to these people in Afghanistan. This is a call to action, my dear brothers and sisters. This isn't for you to just listen to me or listen to my brother Abdullah. No. This is for you to see this, hear this, and even go on our website. The cases are all there. Pictures are there where you can see what the people of Afghanistan are going through. Our bank account details are on the screens. These will go straight to the people of Afghanistan. When you donate through the website, go straight to the people of Afghanistan. We are not trying to ask for money to provide them with leisures. We are not providing them with the top latest shoes or latest clothes. We are only asking that you provide them with the basic human right, which is warmth, which millions, 20 million, if I am not mistaken, or over 20 million are deprived of that. We are just one side, or one group, or whatever you want to call us, that are trying to aid in reducing these numbers. Inshallah, with your barakat, with the barakat of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, the shuhada of Karbala, and Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam, with the barakat of the tents of Zainab, and with the barakat of a Tell al-Zainabi which is being built, you can find the softness in your heart to donate towards these people. The pandemic over the past 2 years has had an immense impact, or 3 years I should say, an immense impact on the people of Afghanistan. Many couldn't get vaccinated. Many couldn't see a doctor because there's a shortage of doctors. And so many people were getting colds and flus and all these simple, avoidable diseases, which stem back from what? From the temperature. Cold. When you feel cold, you don't think about anything else in this world. The one thing you think about is warming yourself up. And I'll ask my brother Abdullah, because he lives in a much more colder country than I do. Now in Sweden, have you ever been so cold that you've just not thought about looking up when you're walking down the road? Your goal is to get home under the heater.
There has come nights, my dear brother Minhal, and there has come days where the freezing cold and the snow has gone up to my knees even, and the temperatures, they go down below 20 degrees even, Celsius. And I remember covering myself and covering my face and putting on the thickest of jackets and my headscarf and everything, and walking down the road with the snow hitting my eyes, and I'm thinking to myself, Alhamdulillah wa shukr. Thank God that I have these clothes on me. Thank God that God has blessed me with this ni'mah to be able to heat myself with the little time and the little distance between me and my home.
Now tell the dear viewers why now is the time to give. Because I can't stress it enough. I want you to stress it to them. Why is it now the time to give? It's winter.
During the winter, the planet Earth moves the farthest away from the sun. And during these times, the temperatures, they go down below to the lowest temperatures that Earth sees throughout the year. It is very important that we acknowledge that when it is this cold, we are able to put on our jackets. We are able to warm ourselves in our warm houses and homes where families sit together and there's electricity and there's everything available for us to be able to withstand the extreme coldness during the winter. But the people in Afghanistan right now, they don't have that pleasure. They don't have that ability to be able to withstand the winters. Therefore, we are standing here today, calling out to you at home. Please donate. Please help save families, because people are freezing to death. There are people losing their lives because they don't have jackets or they don't have the warmth to withstand the cold that comes during winter.
My dear brothers and sisters, sorry.
Go ahead.
Carry on.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with money. And $150 was it?
Yep.
It's not a lot of money. How much does your phone cost? How much does your gym membership cost? We spend our money on a lot of things throughout the year. And of those things, how many times have we spent money on unnecessary things, perhaps? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to us, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ. So God has blessed us with this money. And He asks us, He tells us that we will not receive great reward except until we pay our way into that reward. And we give into charity and we help others.
Now, brothers and sisters, ask yourselves this question. Is it fair that you, sitting at the comfort of your own homes, on your sofas, with your family beside you, with the heaters on, hot, cold water, you can take a hot shower whenever you please. But the most vulnerable in Afghanistan have to go out and look for anything they can find to wrap themselves warm. They have to go out and seek aid. By the way, it's never easy for anyone to ask for help, especially when it comes to money. Never easy. But when times get tough, the people of Afghanistan have no choice. Ask yourself this. Have you ever been in a situation where financially you wasn't there and you needed money so badly, but you were too ashamed to ask anyone? You were too ashamed to approach someone and say, you know what? I just need this much till the end of the month. I just need this much to pay my gas bill, my electricity bill, to light my home, to heat my home. If you've ever been in that situation, then the people of Afghanistan should resonate with you. If you haven't, may Allah never put you in that situation. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never puts you in that situation And inshallah, you find the softness in your heart to give towards the people of Afghanistan. Brothers and sisters, like we mentioned, it's a call to action. This isn't just another live show. This isn't a show where you might learn a fact or two. This is a show where you need to embody it. You need to embody this show. You need to understand that your $150 makes a world of a difference to a household. And if you want to donate more, then we are the more appreciative. But ask yourself, is it fair that a fellow human being, a fellow Shia, the Hazara, they are the ones having this the toughest. A fellow Shia, a fellow person who longs to come to these shrines, a fellow human being who, at the sight of these shrines, drops to his knees or drops to her knees when they see the shrine. Most of these people, their dream is to come here. But their dreams haven't been fulfilled. In fact, their dreams have been pushed to the side. Why? Because they're cold, because they're hungry, and because they're thirsty. The dreams of these people to visit this holy land where 22 million and above visit yearly during the Arba'een period, and millions others visit during the different periods of the year. Yet these people have put their dreams to the side. Why? Because they're cold. Because they don't have any food. They don't have any water. The package is on your screens, brothers and sisters. $150 pays for coal to heat a whole home throughout the winter months. 15 pounds or $18 that will go towards the people of Afghanistan. We'll have a ziyarah recited on behalf of yourself, your marhumeen, whoever you request for us to do a ziyarah for. And $60 is an emergency food package that inshallah will last these people throughout the winter months. It's a dire situation, brothers and sisters. Wallah, I wish you could see the things that we saw. I wish. Now, Brother Abdullah, I want to bring it back to the pandemic, because a lot of this happened during the pandemic, where COVID restrictions, international lockdowns were happening, and on top of all of that, the Taliban take over the Afghan province or the Afghan country. How, in your personal view, have you seen this as an impact on the people of Afghanistan?
Oh dear brother, I go back and I say again that imagine that you are a young schoolboy or a young schoolgirl walking back home from school, and on your way back home you hear that your school has been bombed and your fellow classmates all have died because of your creed, because you're Shia. And now, on top of that, there was COVID restrictions. So the help and aid that usually comes is cut shorter. And now on top of that, you have family members that are being treated in the hospitals because they are sick as well and COVID has struck them. And now you have family members who have died as well. All of that, and on top of that, winter comes. And now you're freezing. Now you're starving. And now you don't know where to put the little money that you even have. Whether to put it on clothes, or to put it on heat, or food, shelter. And that's why we're standing here today. That's why we want you out there to donate today. That's why we're calling out to you to donate today. To help with the little amount, as much as £15 for us to do a ziyarah on your behalf, and plus you get to help the women, the children, and the men in Afghanistan, to help the families that are suffering. I ask my dear viewers today, have you never gone through something in your life where you're suffering and you ask yourself, I wish God helps me with the situation because there's no one to help me? That is the situation that the Afghans find themselves in. Well, there's terrorists that have taken over the land. Women can no longer go to school. No education for them. There's no heat. There's no food. And the cold has snuck on them. And now temperatures have gone so low that people are even dying because of the cold, the extreme cold. I come from a cold country myself, so I know how it feels like to not have that heat or that pleasure. If my jacket was taken off during the extreme cold in Sweden, I would freeze to death. And that's why I ask you all, inshallah, that you'll be able to find it within yourself to donate the very little that you have and that you can give. Starting with, let's say, £15 for a ziyarah. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with a lot, give some of that, as much as $165 to heat a home. Now, Minhal, my dear brother, you come from London.
Yeah.
A pretty cold country as well.
Yeah.
How can you resonate with the cold that the Afghans might be feeling during this extreme winter?
In the UK, it must have reached, I think, -4 degrees Celsius. And even with the thickest jacket, it was still pretty cold. Afghanistan borders Russia, which is known to be one of the coldest countries out there. I can only imagine what the temperatures have reached and what those temperatures feel like. If it gets to -10, -15, -20, in hopes that this coal that they can burn at some point will heat their homes and will have them sitting comfortably, at least for the winter months. Brothers and sisters, we are going for a short break. And in the report you will see, you will find Imam Hussein Charity activists delivering 110 tons of coal to the poor people of Afghanistan, but we're still not where we need to be. Join us after this short break. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
When I feel all alone and my heart needs to heal, and all hope from me is gone, this life seems so real.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم و به نستعین نشکره و نستعینه. خداوند را سپاسگزارم توفیق عنایت فرمود مرحله دوم توزیع زغال سنگ را برای مردم فقیر و بی‌بضاعت و ایتام داشته باشیم و به تعداد 550 خانواده فقیر و بی‌بضاعت و ایتام به مقدار 110 تن زغال سنگ را که سفره زمستانی می باشد امروز توزیع داریم و این کاری نیکو و نیکوکارانه با همکاری مؤسسه خیریه مصباح حسین علیه السلام و مؤسسه خیریه IHC صورت گرفته است و از این سروران عزیز و مکرم نهایت تقدیر و تشکر را دارم، مخصوصا از سرور معزز و مکرم جناب حجت الاسلام المسلمین آقای شیخ مصطفی محمدی که به نهایت زحمت کشید، نه تنها این بار، سالهای قبل همکار با ما بود، واقعا دلسوز به جامعه مظلوم افغانستان هستند. ما تلاششان از زحماتشان نهایت تقدیر و تشکر را داریم و خداوند بر توفیقات بیش از پیش ارزانی بدارد و زمینه کار و زمینه و بستر کار برای ما هم باشند که تا بتوانیم یک پول ارتباطی بین جامعه محروم افغانستان و این اشخاص خیر و نیکوکار باشیم. در خاتمه عرض بشود که مرحله دوم توزیع زغال سنگ توسط دفتر حضرت آیت الله العظما آقای صادق حسینی شیرازی در شهر مزار شریف افغانستان صد گرفته است. انشاءالله خداوند از بانیان این امر خیر به کرمش به احسان و قبول بفرماید. انشاءالله که موفق و مؤید باشند. سلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته.
All my years, so to you I'll confess all my sins. So I'll raise my hands high, my head bowed, shedding tears, and I know as I cry it begins. Allah, I knew you'd answer. I delight now you're my guide. I'll hold on to hope, my master. With you I don't need to hide. Oh Allah, I knew you'd answer. I'll be thankful every day. I'll hold on to hope, my master, as I raise my hands and say تقبل مني وعلي
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters, to this Imam Hussein Charity Afghanistan appeal to heat a home for the people, the forgotten people of Afghanistan. My dear brothers and sisters, at least, this has been going on since long before I was born, at least 300,000 people are affected in Afghanistan every single year. And with the situations that they have been in, it's only going up. Estimates are predicting that I want everyone who's watching this right now, who has a child, who has a son or has a daughter, estimates are predicting that up to 1 million children, in fact, let me correct that, over 1 million children could die from the cold in Afghanistan this year. A huge number. Many of you remember the 2003 invasion of Iraq. And you remember the atrocities that were happening. Many of you remember the wars that happened here, and the atrocities and the numbers and the statistics. Those same exact statistics will fall into the history books unless we take action now. Unless we do something now. Brothers and sisters, there are phone lines on your screen right now where you can call us and you can perform a ziyarah. The shrines are behind me. I know I'm used to doing the Imam Husseini show, but alas, this is your opportunity to do what you want to do this year. How beautiful would it be to end this year with a ziyarah of Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Give me something more beautiful, Brother Abdullah.
Of course, by the salat of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad,
Allahumma
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. To start off this year, what is better than to give to those whom are needy? And a lot of you may know what a nidhr is, but for those of you who do not know, a nidhr is when you give in charity, in return you say to Allah, you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you to ease, maybe if you have an issue at home, or if you have any problems in life, or if someone is ill, or if you need to get into school or something. You can do a nidhr. You ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something and then you give in charity. So you can take this opportunity to donate now and to hit two birds with one stone. You can do your nidhr, and at the same time you help someone eat and feel some warmth during these cold winters, especially during the nights. And starting off the new year, some people, they go out, they party, some others they do other things, some people they sin. But you out there right now watching, you want to start off the new year with amal khair, with a good deed. And what's better deed than to give and to help others with as little as £15, or if you want to, $150 or £135. This is a very small amount compared to how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala counts for you in your book of good deeds. Imagine, you give a few pennies today, and in your akhirah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remembers the very little that you gave today. And that could be the reason as to why you enter Jannah tomorrow, when the day comes, when the day arrives. And I want to emphasize that by donating, you are saving lives. These are people that are starving. These are people that are thirsty. These are people that are freezing. I ask all of you today, if you were to take a stroll down the road and you are seeing someone who is laying down, dying from thirst or dying from hunger, you would give them money, wouldn't you? This is the same exact thing. These are the exact same people dying from thirst. They're also dying from thirst. They're also dying from hunger. And you can also help them. The difference is that some of them, that these are living in Afghanistan, in a country that is being conquered by terrorist organizations that are killing them, killing their family members, killing their children. And you can be that little ease in their life by helping them, by giving them some warmth during these cold winter, horrible nights.
Brothers and sisters, packages are in front of you and they're on your screens right now. $165 to heat a home for the entire winter months. $18 for a ziyarah to be performed on your behalf here in the Holy Land of Karbala. And the money, of course, goes straight to Afghanistan. And $60 to provide an emergency care package to the people who are suffering the most around the world right now, which is around 20 million out of the nearly 40 million population of Afghanistan. I believe we have our dear brother Yasser on the line right now. Our dear brother Muhsin from London. Can he hear me? Sayyid Muhsin, are you with me? If our dear brothers in the back can sort the video for Sayyid Muhsin, inshallah we'll be able to take his input to the people of Afghanistan. As we said, brothers and sisters, to heat a home, the basic right of every human being to feel warmth, to stay warm during these cold winter months. Wallah, walking around the streets of Karbala, there's a slight mist to it. There's a slight mist to it. But it's still freezing cold. Imagine the people of Afghanistan. I believe our dear brother Sayyid Muhsin is with us again. Assalamu alaikum, Sayyidina.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh here from London. Minhal, it's a pleasure to see you. Unfortunately, I'm not there in Karbala. But please remember us and everyone in yours, inshallah.
Inshallah. Sayyid, I wanted to ask you a question on your experience with the poor people around the world, whether it's Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, if you've ever been, Pakistan, your home country. What's that experience been like for you? What have you seen with people, especially over the winter months?
You know, it's always difficult to stand the difficulties unless you're it yourself or you've seen it yourself. Now, I've had the opportunity to see in my home country of Pakistan poverty and how people are just trying to make it by. When it comes to the winter time, it gets extremely cold, and because of the heat in these countries, it's very difficult to have a home built to keep the heat in and not let the cold come in, where in the summertime temperatures reach up to 40-50 degrees. So all the houses are designed to heat out. So when winter comes, it's extremely cold. So with these in Pakistan, they do what they can. They have to buy extra blankets, extra jumpers. There's no central heating. They have fire to keep them warm. And that's just in Pakistan. In Afghanistan, as you guys are raising money for, you've seen it yourself with the video. There's just snow everywhere, and temperatures can reach up to -25 degrees. Now, if you look at the clothes that they're wearing, they're still wearing, like shawar kameez. They're still wearing, thick cotton. They don't have wool, so they've got jumpers, they've got scarves and hats and jackets and so forth. But it's really difficult for them to stay warm. I don't even think they can afford boots to walk around in the snow and so forth like that. Imam Hussein Charity had given me the opportunity to go to Iraq to visit the orphans and the widows just a couple of weeks ago. So I witnessed firsthand the winter in Iraq and how these families who had no man in the house to provide for the house and so forth, and how they kept themselves warm. And a lot of them could not afford a heater. They couldn't afford, clothes to on top. They had to find rubbish to burn in order to keep themselves warm. So, visiting these places, experiencing it firsthand,
sure,
really shows you the seriousness of how badly affected these families are and how desperately they need your help.
Sure. Now, Sayyid, I wanted to ask you, just before our dear brother Abdullah asks you a question, I wanted to ask you, why would you push people to maybe donate towards Imam Hussein Charity?
When I went when I saw these families, them how they were surviving, how they could get money, and how isn't there no help for them at all. Unfortunately, they had really sad stories that families were actually quite okay and well to do with. It was as soon as the patriarch or the man of the house or as someone who was earning money either died or disappeared or wasn't working anymore, is when really the downfall happened. And there are no government schemes. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Islamic organizations out there who are not putting the money in the right places and are putting in other projects, then helping orphans with the winter time. They have no one. Seriously, they have no one to help them, and they are forced to beg in order for them to be able to buy food, pay for electricity, gas, send their children to school, purchase books, and clothes and jackets and so forth. So there's nothing available at all. And when I was there, I can't, words cannot describe the hope that these people had. Even poverty, it didn't mean that they lost hope or lost faith in God, or they lost hope or faith in you guys who donate. They continued and continue to smile. Children continue to play. The mothers that I met and the ladies that were these orphans, were stressed, but they wouldn't let that stress go to the children. They wanted their children to have the most carefree life possible, and to give them a life worth living and some sort of childhood that they can remember and smile back at. So it was really, really an eye-opener for me, a beautiful experience. Go again, I would go again. If I could go every year, I would go every year to visit these people. And for them to welcome me into their world, just describe and give me an insight into how they live and what is going on, and how the help required is, I can't put into words. It's easy watching on a show. It's easy to see pictures, but when you're there and you see it firsthand, why is this child dirty, playing with rubbish? Where is his toys? Why is it so cold in this house? Why don't they pay for heating? Why is it that the elders can go to school but the youngest can't go to school? Why is it that they've got food that's rotting and so forth? That this is the reality. Why is it I go into the house and there's no roof? The roof is made up of plastic sheets, plastic metal sheets and so forth. And there's been the heat into the house. This is the reality of many, many people all over the world. And here at Imam Hussein Charity, we are doing what we can.
And sorry, Sayyid Muhsin.
Give them the best opportunity so that, they can try and live a better life. And inshallah, the children will grow, study, work hard, and hopefully come out of poverty, inshallah.
I just wanted to remind people that
we're trying to do here at Imam Hussein Charity. With Afghanistan, you guys know the situation. You guys know that they have a new government in charge. I'm not saying the government is good, I'm not saying the government is bad. However, the assets are frozen, not get their money and spend on the country to improve the country. Therefore, these people are in desperate need of our assistance and our help. We, as a community and as a Shia community, will definitely help, and we will definitely sponsor our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan to help them through these hard times. On average, I think, off the top of my head, I know 100,000, 500,000 people die every winter, especially children. Children die every winter because they cannot keep warm. The houses are not adequate enough to keep the heat. The cold, the blizzards, it's absolutely tormenting, and people cannot survive. Every winter, I believe, Afghanistan, the families in Afghanistan are looking at each other and thinking who are going to survive and who are not, especially the elderly and the young who are most affected. And it's not even that the cold comes and they're affected, but also that they become ill and then they can't afford medicines to help fight off influenza or pneumonia or
brothers.
Winter diseases.
Sayyid Muhsin, I just wanted to pause you there if you can hear me.
It's really, really difficult, and it is upon us to try and help those in Afghanistan.
Sayyid Muhsin, if you can hear me.
Donate whatever you can. £50.
Can Sayyid Muhsin hear me? Yeah? We've just had a few donations, and I'll just read all these donations, inshallah.
£130 will provide.
Inshallah, after I read these donations, we'll have a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We've had £135, £10, £20, £135 again, $150, $75 and $135 donated to Imam Hussein Charity to go towards the people of Afghanistan. Inshallah, loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Thank you so much to our dear brother Sayyid Muhsin, brother Abdullah. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, our dear viewers at home, this is the best time to give charity to the ones who are needy in Afghanistan. given that these people are hungry, but they're also something that we're very familiar with, us Shias. These people are also thirsty. And we stand here in the holy land of Karbala. Behind me is Saqi Atasha Karbala. Behind me is Sayyid al-Shuhada, Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. We stand here today remembering and honoring these two and the people who died, sacrificing themselves, standing against oppression. And what was that oppression, ladies and gentlemen? My dear viewers at home, one of those things was that these individuals, these holy individuals in front of us right now, they died thirsty. They died hungry. They died oppressed, similar to the people that are in Afghanistan today. We stand here, we say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah, wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifina'ika. We stand here as mu'mineen, as Shi'at Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi afdal as-salatu as-salam. We stand here and we say that proudly, but we also act upon it. And therefore, when we are accustomed and familiar with the oppression that these holy individuals went through, and we know that they fought against that oppression, we stand here today and we see something similar happening in Afghanistan, and we can do something about it. We can help them. We can help save a family member or a family. We can help save a child, a woman or a man, by donating as little as $150 or £135. There's a package, a $50 package, that if you donate, you can give food, water, and blankets to the people in Afghanistan.
Brother Abdullah, I just want to cut you there because we do have a phone call on the line from a dear brother or sister who wants to speak to us. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah, if the dear brothers at the back could sort the phone or call the sister or brother back. I think the phone call got disconnected. Our dear brother or sister who's called in, please do phone in again and we will be happy to take your call in. Brothers and sisters, the packages are in front of you on your screens right now. This is a call to action. This is a call to help. This is a plea for help. A plea to help the people of Afghanistan. There are so many charitable organizations here in Iraq, so many in Syria, but very few in Afghanistan. Very few for the Hazara Shia. Even some charitable organizations who claim to help the people of Afghanistan have discriminated against the Hazara for being Shia, not giving them any aid, not providing them with anything. Why? Because they identify as lovers of that man, their father buried in Najaf, their grandsons buried in Kadhmain, their grandsons buried in Samarra, and their grandsons and sons and brothers buried in Medina. Your simple affiliation can even cause you to be discriminated against in a country where no discrimination should happen when it comes to the poor. Now, I truly believe that Abdullah and myself and anyone here, when they see someone poor, they don't go to that person and say, what's your religion? Where are you from? What's your creed? They identify that this person is a person in need. Even then, the Hazara Shia are being discriminated against. The Hazara Shia from so-called Islamic charitable organizations are discriminating against them. Hazara, no. Let your Shia, let the Shia charitable organizations give you money. We give to other creeds. The Shia, no. So my question is, where are you, O Shia? Where are you, O Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib, to give to the Hazara? Brothers and sisters, we have a phone call on the line, inshallah. We take the phone call. Salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, salamu alaikum. This is Sister Runa from Poplar, East London. I would like to do £15 ziyarah for me, and also inshallah I'll try help as much as I can. Give my salam to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Imam Ali, and also just I want you to make loads of dua for me that I can give more and more in the cause of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And this is the first time I'm seeing charity, so this is really good. From your studio, I haven't seen any charity before. And this is I mean, I'm not sure if you did charity before, but from Karbala, this is the first charity I'm seeing from London, from my living room, and I'm so happy to see you're doing charity. So make sure you do that regular, and I'll support you.
Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah.
My name is Runa, and make loads of dua for me for long life, good health, and lot of blessing. And inshallah, I'm going to come soon in Karbala to see Imam Hussein alayhi salam shrine. Lots of love to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. I love him.
Inshallah, Sister Runa, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you for your phone call and bless you for your donation. And a ziyarah, inshallah, will be recited on your behalf by our dear brothers here at the channel, at Imam Hussein TV. Inshallah, if you send in the names of everyone you want to be included in that ziyarah, then we will perform a ziyarah on your behalf and their behalf. Brothers and sisters, call in. The numbers are down below on your screens. The packages are on your screens. The money goes straight to the people of Afghanistan. Straight to there is no delay, because this is an urgent appeal right now. So many people, millions, millions and millions, who don't have the necessities that they need to heat their homes.
Brother Minhal, there's traditions ascribed to the Prophet ﷺ that describe us mu'mineen, us believers, as part of the same body. So like fingers on the same hand, like body parts of one body. If one part of your body hurts, then all of the body hurts and feels that hurt. So when our fellow brothers and sisters in faith are being executed or dying because of extreme temperatures that are going below 0 Celsius, and they have no food and no water, do you not feel it within yourself? Can you not feel that these are believers as well? And if you want to leave that aside as well and say that faith and creed does not really play a role, then think of it this way. These are human beings like you and I. They have emotions, feelings. They too feel sadness, and they also feel thirst and hunger, and they also freeze. So you can help today to fight against that. You can aid them now today by donating $150 or £135 for the cold for one household, or $50 for an emergency package that gives food and blankets, or £15.
Brother Abdullah, can I just interrupt you there? We've just had some donations come in. When I read them all out, inshallah, we'll have a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. £15, £135, £50, $70 and £150 from our dear viewers. A loud salawat ala Muhammad wa وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
My dear brothers and sisters, we are going for a short break right now. We're going to leave you with this short report on the people of Afghanistan, and once we come back, we'll have more lovely guests for you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
When I feel all alone and my heart needs to heal, and all hope from me is gone, and this life seems so real.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم و به نستعین نشکره و نستعینه. خداوند را سپاسگزارم توفیق عنایت فرمود مرحله دوم توزیع زغال سنگ را برای مردم فقیر و بی‌بضاعت و ایتام داشته باشیم و به تعداد 550 خانواده فقیر و بی‌بضاعت و ایتام به مقدار 110 تن زغال سنگ را که سفره زمستانی می باشد امروز توزیع داریم و این کاری نیکو و نیکوکارانه با همکاری مؤسسه خیریه مصباح حسین علیه السلام و مؤسسه خیریه IHC صورت گرفته است و از این سروران عزیز و مکرم نهایت تقدیر و تشکر را دارم، مخصوصا از سرور معزز و مکرم جناب حجت الاسلام المسلمین آقای شیخ مصطفی محمدی که به نهایت زحمت کشید، نه تنها این بار، سالهای قبل همکاری با ما بودن، واقعا دلسوز به جامعه مظلوم افغانستان هستند. ما از تلاششان، از زحماتشان نهایت تقدیر و تشکر را داریم و خداوند بر توفیقات بیش از پیش ارزانی بدارد و زمینه کار و زمینه و بستر کار برای ما هم باشند که تا بتوانیم یک پول ارتباطی بین جامعه محروم افغانستان و این اشخاص خیر و نیکوکار باشیم. در خاتمه عرض بشود که مرحله دوم توزیع زغال سنگ توسط دفتر حضرت آیت الله العظما الحاج سید صادق حسینی شیرازی در شهر مزار شریف افغانستان صورت گرفته است. انشاءالله خداوند از بانیان این امر خیر به کرمش به احسن وجه قبول بفرماید. انشاءالله که موفق و مؤید باشند. سلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته.
All my years, so to you I'll confess all my sins. So I'll raise my hands high, my head bowed, shedding tears, and I know as I cry it begins. Oh Allah, I knew you'd answer. I see light now, you're my guide. I'll hold on to hope, my master. With you I don't need to hide. Oh Allah, I knew you'd answer. I'll be thankful every day. I'll hold on to hope, my master, as I raise my hands and say تقبل مني وعلي ذكري.
My name is Sarah, and I live in the UK with my dad. I don't need to worry about the cold outside.
Western has led to soaring unemployment, with many unable to feed their families or even to heat them.
But it upsets me to see children in Afghanistan suffering during the winter. I want to make them happy. Let's remind them they are not alone.
Women, apart from work and education, have lost another fundamental right.
Let's share the warmth with families in Afghanistan who have no means of heating by donating today. Bring a smile to an innocent child. Visit www.imamhusseincharity.com.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters, to this Imam Hussein Charity live appeal for the people of Afghanistan, the forgotten people of Afghanistan. Now, before I introduce our new guests, I would like to take a phone call, inshallah, and say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Brother, your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Mustafa and I'm calling from Sweden.
MashaAllah, brother Mustafa from Sweden. It's only right that I allow the Swedes to speak to the Swedes. Go ahead, brother Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear brother Mustafa. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I'm doing fine. How are you, brothers? Inshallah, you're well.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Dear brother Mustafa,
May Allah bless you both.
you're calling in today to Afghanistan Winter Appeal, whereby which we stand here today asking for donations, inshallah, to help those that are needy in Afghanistan. So you have called in today, inshallah. Are you willing to donate, inshallah?
Alhamdulillah, I think we should all be willing to donate because
Inshallah.
our brothers or sisters in Afghanistan we're very heedless of them. You see yourself, you know how cold it is in Iraq. Of course, we should all serve to donate.
Naam, yes. So we have different packages, inshallah. We have £15 for a ziyarah. We have $50 for a package, an emergency package that gives food and blankets. And we also have, for $150, you can provide coal for an entire household, inshallah. Brother Mustafa?
Alhamdulillah.
Brother Mustafa, I want to ask you, are you calling in
Yes,
to
brother.
pledge, or are you calling in to encourage people to pledge? Which one?
I'm here to pledge and to encourage other brothers and sisters to pledge and donate as well.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. How much are you pledging tonight?
From us, from the little that we can give, we've pledged less than £20, but I think that every one of us should try to give at least a little.
Ahsant, Ahsant, brother Mustafa, and inshallah, a ziyarah will be performed on your behalf if you just send us in the names to the numbers down below, to the WhatsApp number down below. We will perform a ziyarah on behalf of yourself and your family, and if you want to include your marhumeen as well, then go ahead. Thank you very much for your call, my dear brother Mustafa, all the way from Sweden. But my dear brothers and sisters, joining us here in the live studios of Imam Hussein TV in front of the shrines of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam, all the way from Canada, our dear brothers Abbas and Kumail, known as online on social media, the servants of Zahra. Am I correct?
Yes, brother, yes.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. How are you doing today?
How are you, brother?
How long have you been in Karbala?
For the past few days, almost I would say 4 days or so.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, you're here all the way from the freezing temperatures of Canada. Now, I wanted to ask you, since you two have experience with freezing cold temperatures, how do you manage up there?
We're blessed to have a lot of heating opportunities inside facilities. We have, the best clothing and jackets and stuff like that to keep us warm. So we're truly blessed to be in a society that provides resources to help us and people that are struggling during the winter.
Now, compare your cold and your blessings to the sufferings of the people of Afghanistan. What would you tell the viewers right now?
We would want no one to go through that, coming from an area where we know how cold it is, and just to be within that warmth, whether it be through a jacket or proper, ventilation and heating. it really does go a mile to have something, you know, just to keep you warm during these tough times.
For
so
sure.
we wouldn't want anyone to go through that.
And anything you can donate to help with this amazing cause is definitely going to make an impact on so many different lives that are suffering through these adverse conditions. So
I do apologize for putting you guys on the spot because I know you're just here to recite, but I wanted to get an extra opinion on this kind of stuff and an extra push for the dear viewers. But if you want to bless us with your beautiful voices, bismillah.
Inshallah. So we're going to be starting off with a latmiya in English about Imam Hussein alayhi salam. It's befitting with the beautiful view that we have here of the shrine. So with your permission, we'll start with loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I will beseech you, I will grieve you into the night.
I will beseech you, I will grieve you into the night.
You are my master, I am alone, I call on to you.
You are my master, I am alone, I call on to you.
Because I will be with you till the end, Hussein. In my eyes there's always tears of pain.
Like a river flows for your love, Hussein. Every broken heart cries out your name, cries out your name. روحي وقلبي لديك صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله يا أبا عبد الله. روحي وقلبي لديك صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله يا أبا عبد الله.
From your shrine I can't bear to stay apart. The flame of your love ignites my heart. Your name gives meaning to my soul. To you I raise my hands and call.
From your shrine I can't bear to stay apart. The flame of your love ignites my heart. Your name gives meaning to my soul. To you I raise my hands and call.
Mere Mola ya Hussein Jan, Mere Mola ya Hussein Jan, Hussein Janam, Hussein Janam. My tears for you will never dry.
Mere Mola ya Hussein Jan, Mere Mola ya Hussein Jan, Hussein Janam, Hussein Janam. My tears for you will never dry.
For every step I take is to you, Hussein. Till my final breath, your love will remain.
Even if they take my feet and my hands, I'll come crawling to your holy lands, to your holy lands. روحي وقلبي لديك صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله يا أبا عبد الله. روحي وقلبي لديك صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله يا أبا عبد الله.
صلوا على محمد محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. My dear brothers and sisters, if that doesn't deserve for you to donate and heat a home, I don't know what does, because that was absolutely outstanding, absolutely beautiful. Our dear brothers Abbas and Kumail, thank you so much. But I will keep you here for just a minute because I know you do have another Urdu recitation, correct?
Yes.
Yes, inshallah we'll have that recited. Brothers and sisters, a call to action right now, a plea to action we have here going on at Imam Hussein Charity. The packages, the phone lines are on your screens. Call us, speak to us right now. We are here in the holy land of Karbala, and how blessed you will be to end this year with your voices heard in the holy land of Karbala, with packages ranging from £15 up to £135, which for many of you, many people, is something that you would spend maybe on a night out with the family. Imagine what sacrificing a night out with the family could mean for a whole family for 3 months, for 4 months, to heat their homes. Don't look at this from a perspective that I'm giving money away. Look at this from a perspective of, what am I doing with this money? Am I correct?
You're very much indeed correct. My dear brother Minhal over here spoke nothing but facts. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks to us in the Quran, many times throughout the Quran, we are told that when we give in charity, and that we should give charity, that it is not gone in vain, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not let a small deed nor a big deed go to waste. He sees everything. And when you give in the way of Allah, you are trading with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who better to trade with than with the greatest and with the Almighty and the most merciful, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Trade with God today, give in charity, and help save lives. Even if it's only one life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He says to us that taking one life is like taking all, and saving one life is like saving all. So donate today and help save at least one life today, inshallah.
Brothers and sisters, before we move on to the recitation of our dear brothers Abbas and Kumail, we have a short video from someone who many of you are familiar with. You've seen on your TV screens multiple times during the Shia Voice, the Imam Hussein TV production, where he was one of 3 finalists who made it all the way to the end to battle it out for that grand prize, who himself knows the dire situation of Afghanistan firsthand. Our dear brother Muhammad Fahim Akbar. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. As we enter the depths of winter, back home in Afghanistan, the temperature is below freezing. Our brothers and sisters are suffering. While millions struggle to cope with the harsh winter, some innocent lives don't make it to the new year. Survival for families can be as simple as keeping their homes warm. At Imam Hussein Charity, we aim to provide heating fuel for an entire household. With just $150 or 135 British pounds, we can supply enough coal to burn throughout the winter months. It only takes a minute to make an impact that can last a lifetime. Donate today to protect thousands of people from the brutal cold. Visit www.imamhusseincharity.com. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters, and welcome back. That was a video firsthand from a person who knows what the situation is like in Afghanistan, which is his home country. Now, brothers and sisters, we won't keep you waiting any longer, and we will have for our dear Urdu viewers, our dear people who love listening to latmiyat or nohas in the Urdu language. I personally do. We'll have our dear brothers Abbas and Kumail bless us with their voices again. Bismillah, brothers.
So this is a qasida about Imam Hussein alayhi salam in Urdu. So again, one loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین. اس کی نسل میں غیرت رہے گی جس نے کہا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین. کس نور کی آمد ہوئی سجدے میں ہے فاطمہ،
ہر دور کے یزید کا ہونے لگا خاتمہ،
کرب و بلا سے آواز آئی لو آ گیا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین.
مصروف ہوں غرور میں اب کوئی بھی ڈر نہیں،
فطر اس کا تو سردار ہے، اڑنے میں ہم سر نہیں. جبریل دیکھو میرے پروں پر اب ہے لکھا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین. تقدیر نے کروٹ ہے لی بس ایک ہی رات میں،
ایمان کا سورج تلوں پھر ہو گیا ذات میں،
خیمے کے در پر سر کو جھکا کر حر نے کہا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین.
وہ ہاتھ کو جہان میں پھر نہ بکھاری ہوا،
اس ہاتھ میں ہر دور کا اب رزق جاری ہوا، سینے کے اوپر جب ہاتھ لے کر کہنے لگا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین، سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین، میرے دل کی صدا یا حسین،
سب کا ہو مرحبا یا حسین.
صلوا علی محمد و آل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Wow, wow, what a beautiful recitation, mashallah. Our dear viewers at home, if this does not make you feel like an emotional trip has taken place for you now to donate to the people in Afghanistan, then I don't know what will. Inshallah, like we said, There's a price range from £15 all the way to £135 where you can save lives today, inshallah, idnillah ta'ala.
Ahsantum, Ahsan brother Abdullah, our dear brothers Abbas and Kumail all the way from Canada. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and keep you going in your service to Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam. Brothers and sisters, we will take a short break, and after that, join me as a very special guest comes on with me and my dear brother Abdullah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Sarah, and I live in the UK with my dad. I don't need to worry about the cold outside.
Western has led to soaring unemployment, with many unable to feed their families or even to keep them.
But it upsets me to see children in Afghanistan suffering during the winter. I want to make them happy. Let's remind them they are alone. Let's share the warmth with families in Afghanistan who have no means of heating by donating today. Bring a smile to an innocent child. Visit www.imamhusseincharity.com.
When I feel all alone and my heart needs to beat, and all hope from me is gone, and this life seems so real.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم وبه نستعین نشکره و نستعینه. خداوند را سپاسگزارم توفیق عنایت فرمود مرحله دوم توزیع زغال سنگ را برای مردم فقیر و بی‌بضاعت و ایتام داشته باشیم و به تعداد 550 خانواده فقیر و بی‌بضاعت و ایتام به مقدار 110 تن زغال سنگ را که سفره زمستانی می باشد امروز توزیع داریم و این کاری نیکو و نیکوکارانه با همکاری مؤسسه خیریه مصباح حسین علیه السلام و مؤسسه خیریه IHC صورت گرفته است و از این سروران عزیز و مکرم نهایت تقدیر و تشکر را دارم، مخصوصا از سرور معزز و مکرم جناب حجت الاسلام المسلمین آقای شیخ مصطفی محمدی که به نهایت زحمت کشید. نه تنها این بار، سالهای قبل همکاری با ما بودن، واقعا دلسوز به جامعه مظلوم افغانستان هستند. ما از تلاششان، از زحماتشان نهایت تقدیر و تشکر را داریم و خداوند بر توفیقات بیش از پیش ارزانی بدارد و زمینه کار و زمینه و بستر کار برای ما هم باشند که تا بتوانیم یک پول ارتباطی بین جامعه محروم افغانستان و این اشخاص خیر و نیکوکار باشیم. در خاتمه عرض بشود که مرحله دوم توزیع زغال سنگ توسط دفتر حضرت آیت الله العظمی الحاج سید صادق حسینی شیرازی در شهر مزار شریف افغانستان صورت گرفته است که انشاءالله خداوند از بانیان این امر خیر به کرمش به احسن وجه قبول بفرماید، انشاءالله که موفق و مؤید باشند. سلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته.
All my years, so to you I'll confess all my sins. So I'll raise my hands high, my head bowed, shedding it is, and I know as I cry, it begins. Oh Allah, I knew you'd answer. I see light now, you're my guide. I'll hold on to hope, my master. With you I don't need to hide. Oh Allah, I knew you'd answer. I'll be thankful every day. I'll hold on to hope, my master, as I raise my hands and say, تقبل مني وعلي ذكري.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. As we enter the depths of winter, back home in Afghanistan, the temperature is below freezing. Our brothers and sisters are suffering. While millions struggle to cope with the harsh winter, some innocent lives don't make it to the new year. Survival for families can be as simple as keeping their homes warm. At Imam Hussein Charity, we aim to provide heating fuel for an entire household. With just $150 or 135 British pounds, we can supply enough coal to burn throughout the winter months. It only takes a minute to make an impact that can last a lifetime. Donate today to protect thousands of people from the brutal cold. Visit www.imamhusseincharity.com. Thank you very much.
Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to this Imam Hussein Charity Afghanistan live appeal, where the numbers are on your screens, the packages are on your screens. Every single possible way to communicate with us, to find out more information, is on your screens, brothers and sisters. £135 to heat a home throughout this whole winter, $60 or £50 for an emergency food package, and £15 or $18 for a ziyarah on your behalf, where of course your money will go to the needy in Afghanistan. Call us so that your voices are heard here in the holy land of Karbala. Call us so that you can end your year, end 2022 with the greatest ending you can ever have, because we are just a few days away from the new year. But joining me right now in this segment is a brother, a friend, and someone very dear to me. One of the biggest English mullahs we have in the English-speaking world, our dear brother, Mullah Ali Fadl. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you?
Very not befitting of the introduction. Thank you so much.
Habibi.
Really, really appreciate it.
Habibi, we all look up to you.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Now, Mullah, I wanted to ask you, you've worked with the channel a lot, and you've seen kind of behind the scenes, you know, in Karbala and in London.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the financial aspect of those who are going through what they're going through in Afghanistan. How do you see it from your point of view, without even looking into their pockets, bank accounts, anything? What do you see in front of you?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Actually, there was two things that happened during my stay here in Iraq that I thought I could share with the brothers and sisters. First and foremost, I was in Samarra a couple of days ago, praying for the mu'mineen and mu'minat, and I was in the Mudif, which is basically the food court cafeteria that every single minute there are dishes of food being distributed to everyone. Sure. Whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're tall, whether you're whatever it is, anyone that is welcome through the grace of Imam al-Askari and Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. So what I noticed, I came in, I sat down, and the workers were giving out the food. I noticed two young kids next to me.
Okay.
When I looked towards them, it genuinely felt like this was their first meal of the day. When I looked at their clothes, I thought, these guys, they must have been from, you know, a neighboring town, or they must be living in Samarra, or attempting to live in whatever conditions they live. I didn't speak to them, but I just felt like, you know, they were looking at the food as if it's the first time they were eating something like, it wasn't up to an amazing standard, but the barakah that this food has is amazing. So when I looked at them, I thought, this is through the barakah of the imams that these young children are able to have a meal.
Yeah.
Then I thought to myself, people in Afghanistan or other neighboring countries, they don't have that care of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Yes, it is limited in terms of the shrines and how much they can give to the poor and needy. Of course, it's very limited, and there is much more that can be done. But this is just a small solace for these people of Iraq, the young orphans or the young poor people of Iraq, that they can go to free of charge. No one's going to judge them. They can come into a food court, have their food and leave. But Afghanistan, other countries, especially Afghanistan, they don't have shrines of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam where they can open up their doors and welcome everyone in and be able to give them some sort of sustenance. So now it just struck me as we, as the followers of the Ahlul Bayt, have an absolute duty and responsibility to everyone in the world to be able to try and provide anything that we have from our small pockets. And genuinely, how much do these little small plates cost? Probably pennies, literally pennies. And if we be able to donate to those charities out there, especially Imam Hussein Charity, that they can go out there and give food, shelter, whatever they can to help support these young people and support those who are in need, then we have to do so. We absolutely have to do so. That's the first kind of significant thing that happened to me. The second thing that happened to me was actually in Karbala itself. It's unfortunate, and we can relate this to the young people of Afghanistan. I haven't personally been to Afghanistan. I would love to, for example, one day go and be able to see for myself what the kind of situation is. But we can kind of relate, being Iraqis and living in Iraq and seeing Iraq, we can sort of relate when it comes to their needs. And so in Karbala, the moment we came within the vicinity of the shrine, we were swarmed by young, not old people, young children just begging us to buy a dua book, begging us to buy a turba, a sibha, candles, tissue, just so that we can give them a bit of money. But it wasn't just one or two, it was, I kid you not, Minhal, it was about 5 or 6 that would just swarm around you. And it became to a point where it's like, please, like, I want to give you, but if I give one, then 20 will come at me. And therefore, again, how much can I give as an individual? How much can you give as an individual? But if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as a collective, even if we give £5, as a collective, if that's 100, 200, 300, 500 people are watching, if they all give £5, then that's enough for the shrine, the authorities here, Imam Hussein Charity Trust, are able to provide, not just for the Iraqis, but of course, again, relating it back to the Afghanistan people, they don't have shrines, they don't have the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam there in physical form as a shrine for them to be able to open up and be able to get some sort of sustenance. So 2 significant things happened I thought I could share with the brothers and sisters for them to be able to be inspired, hopefully, to dig deep into your pockets and find it within your hearts. As Minhal mentioned, that this is a time of change. January, everyone comes in with new resolutions in terms of, I don't know, going to the gym, cutting down on certain things, but charity has to be top of that list. Brothers and sisters, charity has to be top of that list, inshallah.
Ahsant Wallah Ali. And we briefly spoke about earlier how a lot of so-called Islamic charitable organizations were discriminating against the Hazara. And even though the Hazara Shia were more oppressed than, you know, your normal Afghani poor family, that isn't to say they don't deserve anything. They both deserve equal things. We find that the Hazara Shia are more oppressed. Find that the Hazara Shia have suffered even more than what they've already suffered.
Just based on their faith.
Just based on their faith. Now, I think the producers have just told me that they would love for you to bless us with your voice and recite for us. So, bismillah.
Yeah, look, I mean, just on that note, it's a very, very important note. I mean, Afghanistan in general has been neglected after what happened in the 2000s. In general, but now it's become almost impossible to bear the thought of not just Afghanistan as a whole being neglected, but these Shia who are being killed literally based on their faith, not because they've done anything wrong, not because they've stolen anything or anything silly like that, just based on who they worship. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in terms of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet, the Ahlul Bayt, who they revere, right? On that note, we are during the time of, especially here in Karbala, we are during the time of Fatimiyya. So I was thinking in terms of a poem, what I could read. And I thought, what a better way to link Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam and Imam Hussein alayhi salam by bringing the tragedy of Imam Hussein forward and how Fatima al-Zahra sees this. And it says, when Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra, go back, oh mother, they've killed my brother. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When the night fell on that desert camping, a lonely voice was heard in mourning. Then she looked and saw someone approaching, one who would join her in her grieving. She had come to see her progeny and what had become of their destiny. But she could not let her to go closer. She did not want her to really see. I do not want you to go further. You will only see pain and horror. Body with no head, 72 dead. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Before you were born, my loving daughter. This is Fatima Zahra alayhi salam speaking to Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. Before you were born, my loving daughter, I was shown this by your grandfather. He told me what was to be for my son and how it would be a tragedy. My brother told me. Now this is Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam responding to her mother Fatima Zahra. My brother told me of this day as well. I knew what was to become of me, but even then I could not stand witness when I saw Shimir walking to him. My mother, you can not bear to see what they did to his broken body. Arrow in his heart, liver ripped apart. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. And again, Sayyidah Zainab speaking to her mother. Oh mother, when he stood and addressed the people who had now turned on him, he cried and shed the bitterest of tears. I never saw such a thing from him. My brother, you who define what is brave, how can I stand to see you crying? I cry not for what shall happen to us, but that the cause of the doom is me. Even
in this final moment. He could only think of their torment. How could they kill him? He came to help them. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Another had now joined them in their pain. She had also lost her only sons. al-Banin now has joined Fatima the-Zahra and Lady Zainab. Another had now joined them in their pain. She had also lost her only sons. Fatima held her hand and led the way to the river she wanted to go. Zainab knew what for, Zainab knew what for. They had gone searching her noble brother. They could not see. His arms would show and lead them to him, where there lay the rest of his body. He went to bring back, he went to bring back for us water. Then we heard a shout, oh my brother. We saw the flag fell, that was the farewell. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Many thanks to the poet, Sajjad Jihad.
Ahsant, ahsant, ahsant. One of the oldest and most classic Mullah Ali Fadil Latmiyat, one who I became a big fan of him listening to, and mashallah, he's a great brother of mine right now standing beside me. Brothers and sisters, we have our dear brother Muhammad Fahim Akbar on the line with us. Can he hear me? Assalamu alaikum.
Salam, I hope you can hear me as well.
Yes, brother Muhammad Fahim Akbar, all the way from Berlin. How are you doing, brother?
Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Fadl Abbas. Inshallah, this year of all our friends and brothers and sisters being accepted, inshallah. And I hope that you can hear me clearly.
Yep.
And inshallah, I will be at your service.
Brother Muhammad, I wanted to ask you, as a person who is originally ethnically from Afghanistan, do you have family there? And if you do, what's the situation like for them there? You know, first hand, narrating to you what's going on there.
Unfortunately, I little connection, so I couldn't attend the whole course. I'm trying to add a certain part. So the situation is that any direct relatives, but we have relatives that are very, very far, like the cousins of my grandfather or the cousins of my father there. But as far as I can tell, the situation all in all for those who have financial problems, of course, not the best. Every year, the winter season is, of course,
I think, Brother Muhammad, can you still hear us?
Yes, yes.
Yes, carry on. Sorry, you were saying.
Him as well.
Carry on.
Yeah. As I was about to say, the winter season is usually something very, very difficult every year. the temperature will fall. It's very dramatic. In some areas of Afghanistan, you have 50 degrees Celsius plus. It can become exactly the opposite. You have 50 degrees minus. And truly, of the history of Afghanistan, having a country, 40 years of war,
Brother Muhammad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
If, just because we're very short of time, I would just love for you to recite for us, as you being made it very far into the Shia voice, I want you to recite for us and bless us with your beautiful, beautiful voice. Bismillah.
Inshallah, inshallah. I will start reciting from Surah Al-Insan. Inshallah, may Allah accept this recitation as all the intentions and the ziyaras of all our brothers and sisters.
Inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل أتى على الإنسان حين من لم يكن شيئا مذكورا إن خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه بصيرا إنا هدينا السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا إنا أعتدنا للكافرين سلاسل وأغلالا وسعيرا إن الأبرار يشربون من كأس كان مزاجها كافورا
الله
يشرب بها الله يفجرها تفجيرا
الله
يوفي النذر ويخافون إن كان شر تطيرا
الله
يطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا يتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لله نطعم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكور.
الله.
ويطعم الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله نريد منكم
الله.
ويطعم على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله
Thank you so much, Brother Muhammad. I do apologize. I'm going to have to cut you here only because we are out of time. Brothers and sisters, the packages are on your screens right there. $165 to heat a home for the winter months. $18 for a ziyarah on behalf of yourself, your marhumeen, whoever you want, that will all go to Afghanistan, and $60 to donate an emergency food package. I'd like to thank all my guests today, everyone who partook in the show in London, all the way from Canada, in Karbala, the team here. I want to thank everyone who has participated in this, and I want to thank every single one of you who donated towards this cause. The phone lines are still open after the show finishes. The website is there 24/7 for you to browse and for you to see the projects that we have going on in Afghanistan, mainly to give people their basic rights. But from me and my dear brother Mullah Ali Fadil and the team here at Imam Hussein TV, we bid you Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.